What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Hope everybody's doing well out there. We are back. I know it's been almost 2 weeks, so I'll be back to making regular content. Apologies if I miss anything super important in this video. We're going to run through some recent news as I play catch up, and we'll go over the price charts in the future. My voice is still a little gone, so bear with me. Just got back from seeing my parents, so had a great time seeing them because it's been a while. And as we were getting back, my cat got super anemic. My buddy was watching her, and we had to take her for an emergency blood transfusion. She was pale as a ghost, so just praying that she pulls through here. I'll probably throw a picture up or something when I'm trimming. She's not even 2 years old, so her red blood cell count is still low, and her platelets might be going down too. So we don't know if it's both feline leukemia and also Evans syndrome. So we might have to give her another blood transfusion, just really hoping because she's my baby girl. So anyways, let's get into the content. Alright, super quick, looking at the Bitcoin daily price chart, comparing the previous cycle. So we know Bitcoin created an all-time price back in March, before the Bitcoin halving. The difference is, compared to the previous cycles, where the longest cycle took 2 months for Bitcoin to get its first major move, Bitcoin has been consolidating, and it hasn't seen that first major move, and it's been almost 6 months. So this is the Bitcoin US dollar index. We can see the all-time price right around there, and it's been almost 180 days, or coming up. So will this cycle be shorter? Will it be longer? We don't know until we get confirmation from Bitcoin drawing its first major move. And it's very important that we maintain the uptrend as well. So we can see, looking at the Bitcoin US dollar index, that Bitcoin reached an all-time price back in March over 73,000, just shy of 74K. Since then it's pulled back. It is wicked as low as 49K. And when Bitcoin US dollar goes down, as Bitcoin dominance goes up, alts get smashed. And that's what we've seen for the majority of this year. So going over to the monthly time frame, we did get our monthly close, and we did close just above the 8-month EMA. That is a very important level to hold above. So we're going to see how this monthly candle closes for September as well. So when I refer to the first major move for Bitcoin, I'm referring to the first large monthly candle taking out the previous cycle top like we've seen during the previous cycles. So again, none of this is ever financial advice. I'm just sharing my personal outlook for myself, whether I'm right or wrong. But if we're going to get another cycle, and it's going to be similar in length to the cycle from 2013 to 2017, we should see that first major move for Bitcoin anytime between now and May. However, today, the monthly RSI is still looking weak. We need to see that curl up. Same thing with the weekly RSI, or Bitcoin's momentum, and we can see that Bitcoin dominance has been climbing. So this is the highest the monthly RSI or momentum for Bitcoin dominance has ever been in history. Bitcoin dominance has been climbing. As Bitcoin goes down, when that happens, alts go down. However, looking at the previous 2 cycles, or the last 2 alt seasons, Bitcoin got its first major move in all-time highs and ran higher, and we had Bitcoin dominance find its top and crash. So these large crashes were the historical alt seasons. So because we haven't seen that large crash yet, whether it's a 20%, 30%, or even similar to last cycle, we have not seen alt season. Alt season hasn't happened yet. So per usual, we have not seen Bitcoin dominance find its top and give confirmation of a crash, that first large monthly candle. So for anybody to say that we missed alt season, I don't think that's correct to say, because we haven't seen alt season happen yet. If Bitcoin dominance crashed back to the lows and we didn't see alts recover or draw some major retracements, then I would say we missed alt season, but we haven't seen it, and we've seen these setups previously. So again, this is all noise until we can actually get official confirmation of Bitcoin drawing its first major move to confirm that we are going to get another cycle or another liquidity cycle. So right now, we don't know how long this consolidation takes, if we're going to come down to the trend line, if we get a surprise before elections, or this goes well into 2025. And the crypto asset class is a nascent asset class. This is pre-regulation, and it'll continue to be a joke to the masses until we either see another liquidity cycle where prices go up, or we get regulations in place. I want to see utility drive network adoption for the future, and regulations can open the floodgates like we saw in the United States when they put regulations in place during the rise of the internet, and we saw a variety of companies rise out of the ashes. So those are the same thoughts for dozens of networks that succeed in the future. So that's why it's super important to see some degree of utility on networks today, even if it's not their full potential, to serve as proof of concepts for other enterprise customers to see if there are cost savings, if there is revenue generation, or any other types of benefits. So we've yet to see that first winning application that's demonstrated massive cost savings, revenue generation, anything in between, and if you're in Web3, we're rooting for that to happen and for a domino effect to take place. And just going through the market, there are several dozen assets at cycle lows, and people are calling crypto a scam, and totally understandable in this environment because it's illiquid, but there are legitimate companies trying to build real solutions in this asset class without regulation. So basically, if we get another liquidity cycle, just like the previous two, prices are going to find their bottoms and rise again, and then retail will be cheering again. So price action determines sentiment more than anything. So we know the longer something takes to happen, the lower the sentiment gets, along with conviction, and if you've experienced a cycle or two, you know that it just takes one big candle to change everything, so that's what I'm waiting for. Right now, looking at Bitcoin's monthly RSI, we can see we've come down a good amount, and we have yet to retest that trend line, and we can see the weekly RSI is just below 50. Alright, first up, we have shared by Ripple, so this is Pat Thielen. He is Ripple's VP of Strategic Partnerships, and he's discussing stablecoins in a minute. I'll probably play a quick clip here. And just looking at Pat's background, we can see he's still a board member over at the US Faster Payments Council, and he's been with Ripple for years, was previously a managing director over at JP Morgan.
My name is Pat Thielen. This is Crypto in a Minute. Stablecoin is a digital version of cash. And in the financial services industry, the old adage goes, cash is king. And that's true unless you don't have access to cash, you don't have the ability to use that cash, and worst case, that cash is not as much as you thought it was. So as financial services and other industries begin to roll out all of the clever applications that are occurring within crypto and blockchain, like on-chain solutions, like tokenization, and eventually Web3, stablecoin provides the ability to meet that demand. And then the important thing is, as you go through that, you've got the ability to do that in a way that's safe, secure, and ready to use on demand. What's fun about this is we are in a position now where the industry is at $150 billion, proving the demand is there. The reality is it's got a long way to go, and we're excited to see the journey and how it unfolds.
So I thought that was interesting. We know that Ripple shared a while back that the stablecoin market cap is projected to soar past or exceed $2.8 trillion by 2028. So that is larger than the entire crypto asset class, considering recent news that we had this summer with the MiCA regulatory framework in the European Union for USDC and the Eurocoin. So just considering stablecoin volumes on a variety of networks, Ethereum being the #1, and just thinking of transactions for popular stablecoins like USDC, there's a lot of demand, and this can open up the gates or doors to other use cases like institutional DeFi. And there are a variety of concerns regarding stablecoins. Will it take away demand from other assets, even XRP, or drive demand to XRP and the XRP ledger? The way I see it is not having a stablecoin can hurt you, especially with the MiCA regulation, so I think that Ripple is really pushing the Ripple US dollar stablecoin to get more potential liquidity. So everything I've seen after years and years of researching, watching every single video, listening to David Schwartz, I believe he's a good guy. And their goal is to drive adoption to the XRP ledger, and they want to see a higher XRP price, which would make it more liquid. But after so many years, if you feel differently, completely understandable. Also saw this shared by Ripple a couple days ago, so discussing small and medium-sized enterprises or SMEs, and we have this report, according to MasterCard, 50% are now conducting more international business than they did in 2021, contributing to over $17 trillion in annual cross-border payments. So we know the frustration for settlements, and it can take days to settle payments still, which is crazy, and we're at T+1. And the average is 3 to 5 days to settle, which is crazy. This can strain relationships with suppliers, vendors, cash flow management, all types of things. And then added on top of all of this are additional fees, and we can see around 2 to 3% of the transaction. So just considering the trillions of dollars that are sent each year in the cross-border payments market, just think 2 to 3% is a huge deal. So again, that is a huge use case for payments. I know payments might be a boring use case when it comes to Web3's potential, but it's really important, and there are trillions of dollars at play. Alright, there's a bunch of other things we'll cover about XRP and Ripple in future videos. I do want to go over HBAR and Casper really quick. We'll also talk about XRP and the multi-purpose token. I missed a lot, so I still have to read and play a little catch-up here. Next up for HBAR, so a few big things. So we can see on HederaTransactions.com, Hedera's mainnet has surpassed over 60 billion transactions, over 67 billion thus far. We have the State of Hedera Q2 2024 report put out by Masari, so I'm going to have to read through this. We also saw last month we have Neuron with the drones, so we've gone over this before. We can see they now have almost 50 live flight data services or sensors registered on the network as part of the beta program. So this is a DePIN use case we've gone over before, built on Hedera. So we'll go over this more in the future. We also had right here Hedera collaborating with Copper to open doors for institutions. So we can see this alliance with Copper to drive institutional access to Hedera. So So we have through Copper's MPC wallet infrastructure. So MPC stands for multi-party computation. It is better security for crypto assets or digital assets. We have the API and Copper Connect. Institutional investors can perform a wide range of DeFi transactions. But the biggest thing I saw is this, and we can even see limiting who can reply. The HBAR Foundation today, and this is back on August 30th, so just a few days ago, announced that Shane Higdon is stepping down from his position as CEO effective August 31st. The Foundation's senior leadership team will continue to manage day-to-day operations, ensuring that all ongoing initiatives remain on track. So really interesting. I know there are a lot of concerns in the Hedera community. I'm going to refer to the HBAR Bull if he's posted any videos. I haven't checked, but I know that he does active contract work with Hedera. So if anybody's in the know, it might be him. But yeah, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of frustration, especially because HBAR, alongside dozens of assets, have pulled back. So interested to see what exactly happened, if Shane is stepping down to go into another position. If something happened, we don't know. Or at least I don't know right now. So I haven't been super active on Twitter, but I will be going forward to keep tabs on everything. And a word of advice for anybody that holds HBAR, you don't FUD your own bags. If you're frustrated, you leave. And if you believe in HBAR and its long-term success, you don't go on Twitter complaining about it on a daily basis, FUDding your own bags. Alright, next up for Casper. So on CSPR.live, we can see Prove AI with their first partner, Grayscale AI, and the number of deployments. So almost 500,000 deployments thus far for the test phase, and Prove AI is supposedly set to launch this month. So ideally, we want to see a successful launch. We want to see the rollout of more partners in the future besides just Grayscale AI. We can also see on CSPR.live, we have under the accounts tab, this appears to be new, and we can see a list of the biggest accounts. So we have Uphold, other exchanges, Casper Labs, the grants, etc. I did see a lot of concerns and tweets related to Casper Labs selling Casper to fund operations. If you guys have actual tangible proof of the transactions, please comment down below. I also believe the Condor upgrade is set to go live this month, so the Casper 2.0 upgrade has been long awaited, so wishing for a very successful upgrade. We also have right here, this is taking place in Singapore on September 20th, where AI and crypto intersect, announcing an exclusive side event alongside Token 2049 in Singapore. Super quick for the Casper weekly price chart. Last month, I went over 10 to 15 different assets that were at cycle lows. We can see the Casper weekly RSI is below 30, so that is a big no-no, meaning the selling momentum is high. So as long as this weekly RSI is below 30, selling pressure is high, and we can't be confident of a retracement until that time, whether the RSI goes sideways or goes lower. So looking at different things like the S3, I believe we already hit the S3 pivot as well. So you can see right there to the very wick. This is an example why I use these weekly pivots as well, so we can see perfectly. But at the same time, we could draw different fib extensions and look at lower levels as well. This can be determined by the selling pressure for Casper. So we need to see this weekly RSI get back up there over 30, ideally much higher. If this weekly RSI stays low or goes lower, Casper's going lower. I was hoping that Casper could have formed a potential bottom when we did this double bottom back here in the summer, but we actually broke below 30. Plus several other things we went over, such as the testnet attack vector, the security breach, all types of things, and then Bitcoin pulling back as Bitcoin dominance goes up. We also had right here a Forbes article put out by the CEO of Casper Labs and a few interesting things related to AI governance. Making the analogy of the European Union's GDPR regulation back in 2018 a watershed moment that set a new standard for data protection and privacy. So making this analogy and comparing it to AI regulation with this, the EU AI Act. So AI governance, AI regulation is going to be a really big deal in the future, and companies are being forced to pay attention. We can see selling a prohibited AI product in the EU could mean paying a fine of over 37 million or up to 7% of a company's total annual revenue. We're seeing other things in the United States as well. The regulatory landscape is an array of federal guidelines, executive orders, and state or local legislation like Colorado's SB 205. So we know that Prove AI using Casper Network for AI governance with IBM's tech stack is a real application. They need to get some adoption because utility like this is going to be big in the future. The question is, will Prove AI be one of the first movers? So we've gone over Prove AI a bunch. We can see patent is pending, and this is a real application that has been developed in tandem with IBM. So we want to see a long-term success, especially considering future AI regulation. But I think we'll call it a day for today's video, just looking at Bitcoin spot ETF AUM, looking at Ethereum, looking at the Fear and Greed Index sitting in fear, looking at the Pi cycle yet to have a golden cross, so nowhere near our historical cycle top before a major correction, meaning another bear market. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just consolidation. Same thing when you're looking at the Bitcoin Bull Run Index, just in consolidation. Same thing with DeFi TVL in consolidation, just sitting significantly lower than its previous all-time high. I have a bunch to go over in future videos for Peak Network set to launch. We can go over Crest, XRP, Casper, HBAR, Algo, etc. So keep tabs. And for anybody interested, we have Merlin linked in the top of the YouTube video description. And it's also available right in my link tree, the smartest way to track your crypto. If you want to watch a full video going over Merlin in the crypto portfolio tracker and setting specific exit plans for different holdings, you can just go right on YouTube, type in Kevin Cage Merlin. We've also added some more wallets with more on the way, so we now have Phantom Wallet, that's a big one in the Solana ecosystem specifically. We have Uniswap, we have Arculus, etc. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Huge thank you to all that like and subscribe. It'll be 10 times more fun whenever crypto assets actually go up in price, and until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button and sharing your thoughts down below. As always, you can find all links, including resources for charting, trading bots, platforms, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts in my link tree at the top of the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.